Hi, this is Scott. Welcome to another Hollinger Team video blog. This one is for the third quarter of 2019 for waterfront sales. Interesting year. I would say overall the dollar amount has been higher, but the number of transactions has been lower. Year to date, we're at 80 closings on waterfront so far this year, as opposed to 91 in last year, same time period. First off, starting on Flathead Lake, there are 95 active residential listings on the lake right now. We've had 40 closings so far this year as opposed to 40 last year. So same pace there, but the interesting thing I would probably share is that there was 5 closings over 2 million as opposed to 2 last year, and over 1 million there's been 11 this year as opposed to 8 last year. So same number of sales, but the price has gone up some. The other lakes will kind of reflect a little bit differently, but overall it's the trending is upward because a lot of the inexpensive property has been bought up. Vacant land on Flathead Lake, there's 45 for sale. We've had 11 closings so far this year. There's 2 pending transactions, and that the 11 closings this year compared to 18 last year. So here's part of the reduction in the number of sales that I was talking about overall, home and land included. It went from 18 last year to 11 this year. So no explanation for that other than it seems like people are buying homes as opposed to vacant land right now. Now on to Swan Lake. On Swan Lake, on the residential side, there is 8 active listings on the lake. There's been 6 closings so far this year as opposed to 5 last year. Last year there was 3 over $1 million, and this year there's been 2 over $1 million. So pretty much it's a common trend, and there's 1 pending sale right now also. On the vacant land side on Swan, there's 8 vacant properties. There's been 1 closing and there's 1 pending. Last year there were 2 closed sales, so pretty close on Swan Lake as far as sales go. Now on to the Echo, Blaine, Lake of the Woods area. On the Echo, Lake Blaine, Lake of the Woods area, there are 3 homes for sale total, so not very many homes right now on the market on those 3 lakes. There's been 10 closings, so a huge amount of activity, kind of counter to some of the other lakes that we've seen. Last year there were 5 sales amongst those lakes. So literally twice as many home sales this year as last year on those lakes. It just sometimes some lakes are more active than others, and this just happens to be what's going on here. On the vacant land side on Echo and Blaine and Lake of the Woods, there's only 1 active vacant land sale. There's been 2 sales that have closed, and there are no pending sales. So very, very, very slim selection of anything on the vacant land side. Last year there was 4, and so I guess what happened is quite a few properties sold, and none have come back on the market to replace those. Now on to the lakes west of Kalispell. On the lakes west of Kalispell, all of the sales were down from last year. For example, on for the residential side of it, there were 7 sales so far this year as opposed to 11 last year. There's 15 homes for sale. There's 4 pending sales, so it'll catch up some with 7 closed and 4 pending. It'll kind of close that gap. But right now, there's a pretty solid difference between last year and this year. And on the vacant land side, there's 14 active listings. There's been 3 sales compared to 6 last year. And so if you look at 3 sales and 14 for sale in the third quarter of the year, it's going to be quite a few vacant land properties still for sale next year, unlike I was just talking about Blaine and Echo, that area where there's only one. And there's one pending sale there, so it's not totally inactive, but it's just not a brisk pace like we see in some other local markets. Hopefully this was helpful information. We'll post more thorough information on this third quarter update. And as always, if you have any questions or need particular information on a certain area that you'd like to know, let us give us a ring or an email or a text or something like that. We're happy to help out. The outro to this video today is we're getting into the shorter days of the year, longer nights. We're getting into some clear skies, and one of the things we do get here on occasion, if you happen to look out and see in the middle of the night the northern lights, they do put on a good show. So hope you enjoy this little slideshow of some of the northern lights here in the Flathead Valley.